Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're gonna talk about the very cool Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire games. The Pokemon Ruby version, which is the remake of the original Ruby version game, and Alpha Sapphire version 8, which is their make of the original Alpha Sapphire version game. I don't know why the versions keep changing from Ruby version X to Alpha Sapphire version X, but I just don't know what that means or what that stands for. Anyway, enough with the introduction, let's get into the full explanation of the Pokemon Ruby version and Alpha Sapphire version 8. Pokemon Ruby version 8 was released in Japan on November 20, 2012, and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire version 8 was released in Japan on October 12, 2013. I believe they were released in the US and Europe at a later date, which I am unsure about. Anyway, the Pokemon Ruby version 8 and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire version 8 games are remakes of the original Pokemon Ruby version 5 and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire version 5, which was released on the Game Boy Color in 2003 and was the last Pokemon game to come out before the release of Pokemon Diamond version and Pokemon Pearl version. I'm gonna talk about the differences between Ruby version 8 and Alpha Sapphire version 8 in this video. And I'll explain what each Pokemon moves does and the moves it can learn. Alright, let's get into it. Like in the first generation of Pokemon, the player started out in Unova with a team of starter Pokemon, and then he had to collect Pokestops and fight gym leaders. I'm gonna use Pokemon Ruby version 8 and Alpha Sapphire version 8 as an example because they're pretty easy to use and they're gonna show you what it's like. To start off with, the player has to go into the game.